Hello, my dear ones. Welcome back to Shy Hill Farm Chickens. We do lots of fun videos. We do karaoke. We do this and we do that. And sometimes we talk about God. This channel is a Christian channel, and these chickens are ministry chickens. And if you've been around, you've heard the story about the signs of the sparrow, of the ravens, and the gift of Shy Shy that doesn't stop giving even though she's gone. So this is a story about God and memes and the times he sent me memes. And it ends sad because it ends like when Shy passed away, but it's stick with me. Stick with me. So I got to go back and try to be very briefly introduce you to Shy. If you didn't know, when she came here with the others in 2021, she was a busted up broken chick, and we found out a long time afterwards that she had come to us with a broken leg. She looked like she was going to die half the time. We didn't have a chicken vet, and I held on to her. We bonded, we hugged and bonded. And I was very worried about this little bird. So, and I'm the praying kind. But I also worry a lot with the chickens and stuff. I'm trying to get better about my faith. And that's what a lot of this is about. So, the first summer passes and Shy gets better. She is able to kind of maneuver around better. She doesn't look like she's going to die any second. The next summer rolls around and it's hot, and it turns out Shy has this horrible heat intolerance. Like, she can't be out there in the heat. Like, she's heaving, huffing, and she looks like she's about to pass out and die while laying on the ground. Also not able to get around, still not able to get around as well as the other girls. I decided to bring her in to stay with us in the AC. So she's in the house with us half the summer in the AC and just looking poorly. Most of the time. And by now I'm like so in love with her. One day I just hold this chicken up to God, and I got tears in my eyes. I'm like, God, please save this chicken. No, really. One of them crying prayers. Well, won't you know, in the coming weeks and months, Shy started like hopping up on stuff. I was like, what? To see her like hop up on something was insane. She started scratching around the yard and pecking around like a normal chicken. This was miraculous. She was nothing like what you see. If you told me then that she was going to outlive all her sisters and become the swan boss queen that she did, I would have said you were crazy and lying. Okay? So I'm like, God heard my prayer. Look at this. Keith said she's going to roost on the roost bar with her sisters at night. I said, no way. And guess what she did? Now it's 2023 and things are looking good. Life is good. Shy is still a little hobbly in life, but it's acceptable. 2023, summer, I go out back. There she is. She can't walk. She's looking like a penguin. She can waddle around a little bit, but that's it. It was really, really intense. I brought her inside. She looks like she wants to live. She's trying to get around, but she could barely get around. I finally get a chicken vet. We bring her to the chicken vet. He takes x-rays, blood work, and he's stumped. Like, he can't figure out. He kind of just missed what it was. He's not an avian vet. He just can see chickens. And he couldn't see what was wrong, but the x-ray did show that she did in fact have a restored broken leg and broken wing. So during this time, I get this meme on Facebook. Meaning, I'm scrolling through Facebook and there's this meme. And the meme says, I made a way before, I'm going to make a way again, love God. And I knew when I saw it that was for me about Shy. I knew that was for me. In my heart, I knew it and I accepted it. I found out about something called curly toe paralysis, which is a vitamin deficiency. So we started treating her for that with certain foods, yogurt, blueberries, chicken, eggs, and the poultry cell, Rooster Booster, poultry cell. Within a week, she was back to herself. I said, you did make a way, God. You made a way. I really thought this was the end. Again, second time, I thought this was the end of the chicken, and it was not. It was not. At this time, she came to live with us in the house there was other things going on, okay? But happy days. These were happy days. She's living with us now. Winter, Christmas time, 2023 goes by. Now it's 2024. Suddenly, Shy starts taking another downward turn. She's limping very bad. Soft shell eggs are coming out. Eggs are breaking in her. She's laying lash eggs that are testing positive for E. coli. And she's just having moments again where it looks like the end. It looks like this is it. This is this one. Are we going to get through this again? And I remembered the meme. And one day I just stood there and I prayed it up to God. I said, God, you sent me that meme. You said you would make a way last time. And you're going to make a way again this time. And I believe you. And you're going to make a way again. I said, God, I love you. Amen. And I stood on that with faith. I stood on that boldly. The next thing that happened in my life is I picked up my phone and checked out my photos. And, there's like a little photo reel of highlights that it gives you. Does your phone do that? Where it's like, here's back then, look back on this, look back on that. Well, guess what? That meme was in that photo reel right then and there. Within a minute of that prayer, the photo was in the meme reel. The photo reel. The meme was in the reel. And I rejoiced. I got excited. Like, that was a confirmation from God that yes, it's going to be okay. And it was. She got on the hormonal implant, and that spring of 2024 was when I started the channel, and that's when she blossomed into her ultimate form. Like, I could not believe this chicken. I couldn't believe it was the same girl. She would show parts of herself I didn't know were possible. I thought maybe she really was the alpha all along. Maybe Shy was never even real. Okay. Summer, winter, spring, fall. Life is lovely. Life is good. Life is excellent. 2025 rolls around. 2025 rolls in a little heavy. I told you a little bit about myself in a video recently that I've been dealing with something called medullary thyroid cancer now for like 13 years. And it's stable and like I'm okay. But, I got to go through these scans and blood tests and all this stuff. And it's very stressful. And that's what most of all of this is about. When we get the signs and the sparrows saying, I'm here, I'm taking care of you, I'm taking care of them. You are of more value than many sparrows. How much more do I take care of you, right? That's what this really is coming down to. So around this time of doing scans, blood markers are high. I see another meme show up on my Facebook. This time it says, everything will be okay. I promise, God. And I knew it was that same feeling in my gut. Like I knew this is for me. This is from me. Someone posted on Facebook, everything's going to be okay from God. I said, that's mine. That's mine. Okay. I shared it on Facebook, took the little screenshot. Hooray. April rolls around and things go off the wall. My mom's in the hospital for some reason. She ends up being okay. But she's in the hospital down far from us. And I have to go in for these PET scans. My cancer markers are like insane. And then suddenly, I don't know where, Shy just takes this crazy dive in her health. Her comb falls over. She's pooping crazy. She's lethargic. She's not eating. I'm like, oh my gosh, my vet's away. I take her to this avian specialty vet who like ran 1 million tests. This was like over $1,000. And I remembered the meme that everything will be okay. And I did the same thing. I stood on it. I believed it. I spoke it up to God. I said, God, you sent me that everything's going to be okay. And I believe you and I trust you and I promise you. And I said, and I know I'm going to see it again. I know you're going to confirm it again. Like now. The next thing I didn't check the photos first. I checked Facebook. And I had posted that meme like weeks beforehand. And I opened Facebook, notification, someone liked your post. There it was. I hit it. Kristen liked your post that everything's going to be okay. Love, God. There it was again. He did it again. He came through again. And everything was okay. Shy recovered. My mom recovered. I was fine too. Happy days. Happy days. Thank you, God. So, summer of 2025, last year. Happy summer. Happy days. September comes around. Little do I know, on October 1st, Shy would stop walking and we would discover that she had a huge tumor. And while she seemed content and happy and not in pain, we made the decision for her to do the merciful thing on October 15th. Little before that, another meme shows up. This time it says, when you know that God is never late, you wait differently. Once again, I looked at that and said, this one is for me. It was another one that was for me. I reposted it, took the picture. There it was. Store it up, locked up. This goes down with Shy. And I try standing on that same prayer and that same boldness of faith that what God is saying is true, that he's going to come through, but you might, you wait for him. He's never late. And I just could not The faith just wasn't there. It wasn't there like the last few times. It just wasn't. I could not stand the way I could before and pray it back to God the way I did before. And as the days rolled on, I found myself looking for it, checking the highlight reel, checking Facebook, I found myself looking for it. I was looking for the confirmation that God would send it back to me, and that he would come through, and that Shai would be okay. And it never did. And you want to know what happened next? My highlight reel on my phone, on the photos, broke and disappeared. It disappeared. It wasn't there. He said, "You're not looking anymore. This is final. This is my decision. This is how it's going to go." Then I found out that Shai's name means gift in Hebrew. And the day before I made the call to the doctor to make that appointment, I opened up a devotional that said, "Enjoy my gifts, but don't cling to them." So God made it known that this was how it was going to go, that this was her time. The precious things about that time was, for many years I prayed that when it came time for Shai to go, because it was something we all dreaded, me and Keith, that he would make it somehow sweet, that he would make it somehow peaceful, that he would make it somehow good. He answered those prayers, because it was. Those are sweet memories of those final days and weeks. And in the months that followed, and even into now, when I walked into the darkest, heaviest grief of my life, I went deep before God and received a lot of wisdom from him in those deep, dark moments where my heart is broken and there's nowhere else to go. And I've spoke about a few of those things recently. The main thing being that, of course, we are of more value than many sparrows. Look how I've taken care of Shai. But also that the one that wrote her story is writing mine too. While I go back into scans, I go back into this. But here's the last piece of it. Just recently, now this is over 6 months later, this is 7 months later, one of my friends posts the message, word for word, on the Facebook page, and it went right into my heart. It wasn't the meme, it was this post. When you know that God has never let you wait different. So it went into my heart. Actually, wait a minute. It showed up. Look. Yeah, it showed up on the 6 month marker of Shai's passing, April 15th. Exactly 6 months. It was another Wednesday. And there it was. It showed up on my Facebook. Now you might be saying, "Jen, you're insane." And you're right. But you could also have spiritual eyes like me and see that this is a fellowship in a way that God reaches out to me. How he's reached out to me, particularly through the chickens. And now I could share this story with you. If you're still here listening, you know. The gift of Shai keeps going, right? So I've been thinking about that a lot lately. 6 months later, he sends it back to me. Is it coincidence? No, I'm not going to say it is. I'm going to say absolutely not. You know why? Because God is if he is as omniscient, ever present as he says he is, then he would know I was going to see that meme that day and take it seriously, if he meant for me to see it like he did the other times. So we'll see what happens next. Stay tuned to Shai Hill Farm. Because I'm standing on belief in full healing. And I got stuff to say about that too. Because there's been healing in my spirit and my soul as far as being afraid. There's been healing like that happening. It has been. Not fully, but it's there. Guys, if you're still here 15 minutes later, you're the best. And I love you very much. I think that's pretty much all I got to say about it. That's the story. I try to tell stories and then it goes in 100 other directions, but I try to keep just the story. That's the story of the meme and God. And have a wonderful weekend, everybody. God bless you. He's writing my story and he wants to write yours too. Tell God, here's my life. Come into my heart. Give me the fullness of life. Said we would know the fullness of God. We would know the fullness of Jesus' love. What does that even mean? Let's find out together. Okay. From Shy Hill Farm to your home, Katana Star Raven, and our weird chickens, we love you very much. God bless you.